one of the key obstacles that you're mentioning here is that the 6-7 date syndrome, the pressure in the community to get married after 6-7 dates, and a girl isn't feeling it. She isn't feeling the emotional connection to the intended boy, and yet she admires him, she likes him, he's a good boy, he's cute, but she doesn't feel it. How does it go from 6-7 dates where I'm not sure to 12 dates, 13 dates, where a person says, yeah, they develop that connection? What happens from date 7 to date 12, 13, where a girl can develop that emotional bond, that emotional connection where she says, yeah, now I'm ready?
Okay, great. So I'm thinking of someone in particular that I worked with. She was a Beis Yaakov girl, 28, 29, so already feeling a lot of pressure. And she had been dating her now husband for about a month and a half, which, so let's say that's 11, 12 dates, which already is on the top end, so to speak. And she was getting a ton of pressure from her parents, the shotgun, the boy, everyone's pressuring her. Baruch Hashem, thank God that she had a relative that knew me. And she said, you know what? There's this woman, Mrs. Kigel. She's a dating coach. Maybe just run it by her before you break up with him. Because her parents basically said to her, if you don't know by now, it's not him. Thank God she called me, and I had my intake session with her. Everything on paper was great. She just wasn't feeling it, like you said. And she was feeling so much anxiety and pressure that it was not possible for her to feel it because she was so pressured. So I said to her, I think this was around Sukkot, I forbid you from making a decision until Hanukkah. This is radical, I know. Okay, so I said to her...
This is outside the box.
Yes, so I said to her, I'll talk to the shadchan, your parents, whoever you want me to speak to, I'll talk to. Obviously, the boy has to be on the same page. And he was willing. He was willing to give her time, but it was just a lot of external pressure. So I said to her, I forbid you from making a decision until Hanukkah. And not only that, you're not allowed to think about it. Don't think about evaluating, is this my husband or is this not? Visualize a big red stop sign. You're not allowed to think about it. Just enjoy your time with him. Okay, number 2, I said to her, were there any moments on any of the dates where you were like feeling a little bit more drawn to him? She's like, yeah. I was like, what was happening at that moment? So I try to get the girls to think, what's working? Mm-hmm. So sometimes for a girl, it's like we went on an activity date and we just were goofing around. We had the best time. And I just thought, oh, he's so cute. Or for this girl, I think it was, if I remember correctly, it was many years ago, they were having a DMC. They were having a deep, meaningful conversation about hashkafa, whatever, Judaism. And all of a sudden he said something so amazing. And she was like, he's so cute. I feel like really drawn to him. So I said, great, we're going to copy and paste. Copy, paste, copy, paste. We're going to do whatever's working again and again and again. That was number 2. The third thing I told her was, and this doesn't work for everyone, but she needed to see him more often. Like you were saying, that we want to feel like a comfort level. So twice a week, which is the typical amount of time that we're in the shidduch world that you see someone, was not enough for her. For some girls, it's too overwhelming. And you have to know yourself, right? So I help the girl, are you feeling overwhelmed if we do a 3rd date in a week? If so, scrap it. Keep it to 2. But some girls, and this girl was an example of this, she wasn't feeling deeply connected to him because she was only seeing him twice a week. It just wasn't enough. Mm-hmm. She needed him to be more part of her daily life. So I encouraged them to go out 3 times a week and to have contact in between. A phone call or a FaceTime, even a little bit of texting, right? Which I don't recommend as a general rule. I'm not into texting, but with them, they needed it. They did not make it till Hanukkah. They were engaged. They are happily married with kids. Okay, this was a perfect example of it just needed a little extra time for her to feel comfortable, not stressed out, not anxious, feel like he was more part of her daily life, build the emotional connection because she was seeing him more often, and replicating what was working. So that's really my advice in that type of a situation.